OS still struggles with the device temperature control. And if we dig deeper into the analysis, Project Elixir hasn't been able to surpass OS in terms of performance score. This comparison is getting even more exciting, and I can't wait to see how they perform in upcoming comparisons and tests. So stay tuned for more thrills. So hey everyone, welcome back to Craxoid. Today I am back with a new exciting comparison video with two incredible ROMs, OS and Project Elixir. These ROMs hold a special place in my heart, and today we are going to conduct an in-depth analysis to determine which one reigns supreme in this ultimate comparison battle. In this video, our mission is to help you find perfect ROM for your device in a simple and straightforward way. We'll start up with the boot test to find out which one boots up faster. After that, we'll jump into the series of benchmark scores and compare side by side. And here's the best part, we'll also monitor battery percentage and temperature throughout this video so that you will have idea of which ROM stands out in this crucial area. And that's not all, we'll also test these ROMs in real life scenarios like gaming, recording 4K videos, and checking their RAM management. And don't worry, we'll keep an eye on the percentage and temperature throughout this video. As you can also see, we have taken all the measures to ensure the fair and accurate comparison. Both the ROM runs on the latest Android version, Android 13, and use the same Quicksilver kernel. And additionally, both of them are based on the latest April 2023 security update. And these two custom ROMs are running on their latest version available right now. To make sure that the results are accurate, we have installed same settings and applications in this device. And our test will be conducted in Redmi Note 8 device, and both the device have same battery percentage and temperature, that is full. So now let's jump right into the video. Boot test. Let's start our comparison of these two custom ROMs with a boot test. We'll perform this test twice in a row to ensure accurate results as possible. It will give us an idea of how quickly each ROM can start up. Before we begin, let's quickly check the battery percentage and temperature of each ROM on the screen. This will help us evaluate their power management efficiency. To start the test, we'll tap the restart button on both phones at the same time and fast forward the boot process. This will help us figure out which ROM gets us up and running faster. The boot test is important because it tells us how quickly each ROM starts up. Slow boot times can be frustrating when we need to use our phone right away. This test will help us see which ROM is optimized for quick booting and performs better in this area. It's worth noting that all the ROMs are starting with a full battery charge of 100%. This ensures a level playing field for comparison as they begin with the same power capacity. This allows us to fairly evaluate which ROM offers a superior user experience and effectively manages the boot process. By considering these factors, we can gain valuable insights into the performance and make an informed decision. After conducting the boot test twice on both custom ROMs, we have the results. In the first test, OS proved to be the fastest, taking only 39 seconds to boot. In the second test, it performed even better, booting up in just 38 seconds. On the other hand, Project Elixir took 48 seconds in the first test and 54 seconds in the second test. During the boot test, we also closely monitored the temperature and battery percentage. Both ROMs showed similar battery management with just a slight increase in temperature of 1% and no any significant changes in the battery percentage, even after conducting the boot test twice back to back. This means that both ROMs handle power efficiently during the boot process. But overall, OS has outperformed in this boot test, delivering faster boot time compared to Project Elixir ROM. Antutu benchmark test. Now let's move on to the next part of our ultimate comparison, that is the Antutu benchmark test. This test provides us with valuable insights into the overall performance of the phone, including the CPU, GPU, memory, and other important components. It's a great way to determine which custom ROM excels in delivering impressive phone performance. Before we dive into the test, we'll quickly check the current battery temperature and percentage of all custom ROMs. This step is crucial because excessive heat and battery drain can affect the phone's performance during the benchmark test. You'll be able to see this important information right on your screen. To ensure fairness, we'll start the test simultaneously by tapping the Run Test button on all custom ROMs. Since the test may take around 10 minutes to complete, we'll fast forward the process for you and present the final results without any delays. Get ready to see how these custom ROMs perform in terms of overall phone performance. After completing the test, we have obtained the results. This time we observed a different outcome compared to the boot test. This time Project Elixir completed the test in a shortest time of just 10 minutes and 28 seconds, surpassing OS, which took slightly longer at 10 minutes and 43 seconds to finish. And when it comes to battery management, Project Elixir demonstrated its efficiency once again. It exhibited 2% less battery drain compared to OS and maintained a 1 degree Celsius lower temperature rise. These findings highlight Project Elixir's superior optimization when it comes to power usage. And in terms of scores, looking at the scores displayed on the screen, again Project Elixir takes the lead with score of 206,168. This indicates its exceptional overall performance in various aspects. Overall, in this Antutu benchmark test, Project Elixir has emerged as the clear winner, surpassing OS with its outstanding performance. Geekbench 5 test. Now let's move on to the Geekbench 5 test, which focuses on evaluating the CPU performance of each custom ROM. This test provides insights into both single-core and multi-core performance, allowing us to assess how well the CPUs of these ROMs perform. Before we begin, take a moment to check the current battery percentage and temperature of all custom ROMs conveniently displayed on the screen. To ensure a fair comparison, we'll start the test simultaneously on all custom ROMs by tapping the Run button. While the test takes a few minutes to complete, we'll fast forward the process and present you with the final results. Once the Geekbench 5 test is done, we'll analyze the single core and multi-core scores of each custom ROM. This comparison will give you a clear idea of their CPU performance and assist you in choosing the custom ROM that best suits your specific requirements. After conducting the Geekbench 5 test, we have the results. In contrast to the Antutu test, Project Elixir didn't perform as well this time. It took slightly longer to complete the test with a time of 6 minutes and 44 seconds. On the other hand, OS completed the test faster, finishing in just 6 minutes and 29 seconds. Regarding battery management, one more time, both ROMs showed similar results with the temperature increase of 5 degrees Celsius and a battery drain of 4%. However, in terms of scores, OS had a slightly higher multi-core score of 1313, while the single-core scores were comparable at 303. Overall, OS has outperformed Project Elixir in the Geekbench 5 test, showcasing superior performance. Geekbench 6 test. Now let's dive into the Geekbench 6 test. Before we begin, let's quickly check the battery percentage and temperature of both custom ROMs on the screen. I'll start the benchmark test simultaneously on both custom ROMs and monitor any changes in their battery levels and temperatures. We'll fast forward through this part to save time. Keep in mind that the Geekbench 6 benchmark test evaluates both the CPU and GPU performance of a device. This test will give us a clear idea of how well the custom ROMs perform when it comes to processing power. After approximately 16 minutes, both of the custom ROMs completed the Geekbench 6 test. Once again, like in Geekbench 5 test, OS stood out by completing the test in a faster time of 16 minutes and 44 seconds, while Project Elixir took slightly longer with a time of 16 minutes and 52 seconds. In terms of battery management, there was a noticeable difference between the two ROMs. This time, Project Elixir showcased better efficiency with 1% less battery drain compared to OS. It also maintained a 2 degrees Celsius lower temperature rise after completing the Geekbench 6 test compared to OS. And when it comes to benchmark scores, OS achieved slightly higher scores in both single-core and multi-core performance as indicated on the screen. Taking into account the test duration and benchmark scores, OS performed well, but in terms of battery and thermal management, Project Elixir comes out on top in this Geekbench 6 test. CPU throttling test. Now it's time for the CPU throttling test, the most demanding challenge for our custom ROMs. Before we dive into the test, let's quickly check the current battery temperature and percentage of all the ROMs conveniently displayed on the screen. Once we have the battery stats, we'll simultaneously start the CPU throttling test on both custom ROMs and closely monitor their performance. This test is specifically designed to push the device's processor to its limit and evaluate its performance under extreme conditions. The test will run continuously for 15 minutes without any breaks or pause. To save your time, we'll fast forward the video, allowing you to witness the outcome without waiting throughout the entire test. If you don't know what exact this CPU throttling test means, then think of the CPU throttling test as a stamina test for your phone's brain, the processor. Just like how we get tired after doing something challenging for a while, the processor can also get tired when it's working hard for a long time. Imagine you are playing a game on your phone that requires a lot of processing power. At the beginning, the game runs smoothly and your phone is fast. But after playing for a while, you might notice that the game starts to lag or slow down. This happens because the processor is getting tired and needs a break. Now in the CPU throttling test, we intentionally put a heavy load on the processor for about 15 minutes. It's like giving your phone a really tough task to see how well it can handle it. We want to know if the processor can keep running at its full speed without getting tired and slowing down. During the test, we monitor the phone's performance and check if it starts to slow down or get too hot. If a custom ROM performs well in this test, it means that it can handle demanding tasks without any issues. It shows that the ROM is efficient and optimized, providing a smooth experience even when the phone is working hard. On the other hand, if a ROM does not perform well in the CPU throttling test, it means that the processor gets tired quickly or the phone gets too hot. This can lead to a laggy and sluggish experience for the users. So the CPU throttling test helps us understand which custom ROMs are like energetic athletes, capable of handling intense tasks without slowing down, and which ones need to improve their stamina to provide a better user experience. Like with this explanation, the CPU throttling test has been completed. Upon analyzing the results, we have observed that both custom ROMs exhibited similar performance. In OS, the CPU throttled to 93% of its maximum capacity, yielding an average score of 137,137. Similarly, in Project Elixir, the CPU throttled to 94%, resulting in average score of 134,417. Although the results were similar, OS exhibited a slightly stronger performance than Project Elixir. YouTube Shorts. Now that we have finished testing the performance and CPU aspects, let's move on to some real-world usage tests. One of the things people love doing on the smartphone these days is watching YouTube Shorts. So that's exactly what we'll do next. I'll be watching YouTube Shorts for a solid 15 minutes, and after 15 minutes, I'll share the results with you. You'll be able to see the current battery temperature and percentage on the screen as I go along. This test will give you a good idea of how well these custom ROMs perform in everyday situation, which is what really matters to most users. We want to see how they handle things like battery life and temperature when they are being used for normal activities. It's important to note that tests like this in real-life scenarios are essential for understanding how a device performs in day-to-day use. While benchmarks are helpful for assessing a device's raw power, real-life tests like watching videos or browsing the web reveal how well it handles typical tasks. So let's get ready to see how these custom ROMs perform when it comes to watching YouTube Shorts and experiencing real-world uses. While I complete watching YouTube Shorts, let me ask you a quick question. Do you also enjoy indulging in YouTube Shorts? Feel free to share your thoughts and experience by commenting down below. And hey, if you are enjoying this video, then don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. It will be a signal for us to keep creating more amazing content just for you. So after enjoying a delightful 15-minute session of YouTube Shorts on both custom ROMs, it's time to reveal these results. While watching the videos, both ROMs experienced a small cooling effect, dropping the temperature by a comfortable 3 degrees Celsius. However, when it comes to battery uses, OS outshines with only a 2% decrease in battery, whereas Project Elixir showed a 3% battery drop after watching YouTube Shorts for 14 minutes straight. And here's something interesting to keep in mind. If you have been paying close attention, After the CPU throttling test, we noticed that Project Elixir had a slightly higher battery drain of 1% compared to ROS, just like we saw during the YouTube short test. While Project Elixir was better at managing battery percentage before the CPU throttling test, ROS still struggles with device temperature control. And if we dig deeper into the analysis, Project Elixir hasn't been able to surpass ROS in terms of performance scores. This comparison is getting even more exciting, and we cannot wait to see how they perform in upcoming tests and comparisons. Stay tuned for more thrills. Subway Surfers. Now let's put these custom ROMs to the real world test with some gaming actions. We are going to jump into the popular game Subway Surfer and play it on both custom ROMs for a solid 15 minutes. While we are enjoying the game, we'll closely monitor the battery temperature and percentage displayed on the screen. This will give us a first-hand experience of how these ROMs handle intense gaming sessions and how they impact the battery life and device temperature. Once our gaming session comes to an end, we'll analyze the results and compare the performance of each ROM, getting ready to witness which custom ROM comes out on top when it comes to mobile gaming. After a thrilling 15-minute session of playing Subway Surfers on each custom ROMs, it's time to reveal the exciting results. Both Project Elixir and ROS experienced the same battery drain of 9%, indicating similar power consumption during the gaming sessions. However, when it comes to temperature control, ROS struggled once again. However, it has managed to maintain a consistent temperature without any noticeable changes, but on the other hand, Project Elixir cooled down the phone by exhibiting 1 degree Celsius drop in temperature from 41 degree to 40 degrees Celsius. Showcasing better thermal management compared to ROS, it's clear that Project Elixir takes the lead in this aspect of performance. 4K video recording test. After putting these custom ROMs through their paces in YouTube Shorts and gaming, now it's time for an exciting test to see how these custom ROMs handle 4K video recording. This test is perfect and important for those who love capturing stunning high-quality videos on their smartphones. I'll be recording a high-quality 4K video at 30 frames per second for a full 15 minutes on both custom ROMs. You'll be able to see the current battery temperature and percentage for each ROM on the screen. This will help us understand how well these ROMs manage their resources while recording videos. We want to see how these ROMs perform when it comes to battery usage, controlling device temperature and the overall quality of the recorded videos. So let's get started and find out how these ROMs handle the challenge of recording amazing videos. After an exciting 15-minute session of recording breathtaking 4K videos on both custom ROMs, it is time to reveal the thrilling results. Get ready for some fireworks because Project Elixir has once again come out on top in this ultimate camera test, with an impressive 2% less battery usage and a cool advantage of 1 degree Celsius in temperature compared to ROS. Project Elixir has truly stolen the show. RAM management test. Ladies and gentlemen, get ready for the RAM management test, the moment we have all been waiting for. We are almost at the end of our performance evaluation, and this test will determine how well these custom ROMs handle multiple apps running in the background. I'll open 15 identical apps on both ROMs and see how they handle the challenge. We'll be closely watching the RAM usage to find out which ROM is better at managing memory. Alright guys, the moment of truth has arrived. After successfully opening all 15 identical applications on both custom ROMs, it's time to put the RAM management capabilities to the test. First up, we'll see how they handle the phone dialer app. Brace yourselves for the results because unfortunately both ROMs struggled with opening the phone dialer smoothly and reloaded this app. It's a bit disappointing, I must admit. But fear not, the excitement is far from over. We still have more apps to explore and I won't keep you waiting. To save time and keep you on the edge of your seat, I'll fast forward through the remaining app openings and straight to the final results of this RAM management test. No need to watch every app open one by one. After conducting the RAM management test, the final results were not quite what we had hoped for. Both custom ROMs struggled significantly when it came to handling multiple apps simultaneously. In fact, they only managed to open the Play Store app among the remaining 14 apps, which was quite disappointing. These results indicate that both ROMs may face difficulties in effectively managing RAM and keeping apps running smoothly in the background. This could be a concern for users who frequently multitask on their devices. However, it's important to note that these results might be influenced by factors such as low battery percentage and high battery temperature, as the phones underwent heavy testing without any rest, and it may have affected the RAM management capabilities of the ROM. Conclusions. In wrapping up our comprehensive performance comparison test, it's important to acknowledge that each custom ROM brings its own unique strengths and weaknesses to the table. After conducting an array of tests and analyzing the results deeply, we can confidently present our findings. After thorough analysis of our test and comparison, it is crystal clear that ROS takes the lead in terms of task speed and performance scores. This custom ROM is a powerhouse when it comes to swiftly completing tasks and achieving impressive scores across various tests. If you're someone who values speed and relies on performance benchmarks, ROS is the ultimate choice for you. Its exceptional performance capabilities will undoubtedly enhance your overall user experience. On the other hand, when it comes to battery and temperature management, Project Elixir Rom takes the crown. It goes above and beyond to optimize your battery uses, allowing you to squeeze out every last drop of power. Additionally, it keeps your device cool even during intense tasks, ensuring a smooth and stable performance. So, if you are someone who values a longer battery life and wants to keep their device running at an optimal temperature, Project Elixir Rom is the perfect choice for you. Keep in mind that the conclusions we are sharing here are based on the overall average results obtained from the different tests we conducted throughout this video. These results provide a comprehensive overview of the performance of both custom ROMs. At the end, the decision between ROS and Project Elixir Rom boils down to your personal preferences and priorities. If you want a custom ROM that's super fast, performs exceptionally well in tests, and show impressive scores in various tests, go for ROS. On the flip side, if you really care about getting the most out of your battery and keeping your device cool, Project Elixir Rom is the ideal choice. It's designed to optimize battery uses and keep temperature in check. So take a moment to think about your priorities and select the custom ROM that best meets your needs. Based on the extensive test conducted in this video, we can conclude that both ROS and Project Elixir Rom are excellent options for anyone seeking a custom ROM. However, the best choice ultimately depends on your specific priorities and requirements. If there are certain aspects that matter more to you, such as performance or battery and temperature management, then you can confidently choose the custom ROM that aligns with your needs. Remember, both custom ROMs have their own strengths, so it's all about finding the perfect fit for you. We hope that this video has been informative, and if you like our video, then don't forget to hit the like button, comment down below, share this video and subscribe to Craxoid. Also hit the notification bell. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.